it has also affected us in a way that the way that the old oracle, packages their stuff, the way they do divination, the way they do the spiritual work, it doesn't actually work very well with the new generation. So this type of communication between the higher realm and the physical realm is affecting our present generation. That the type of result that's supposed to be achieved from traditional oracle or the old oracle has been affected as well.
Okay.
Because when you try to use the form of old oracle or the form of old spiritual work, you want to use it for the new generation, based on the circumstances surrounding the new generation, the present time. I mean, we are evolving. You may not be able to achieve the exact result that you are trying to achieve with old oracle if you're using it in the present day. So these are one of the ways that it affects the new generation, old oracle.
Ziontv Gh said that for me watching on our Ziontv Gh said that and that's some country than Punyaku they are doing. Ziontv Gh just here. Now more money to say him dear Adisuya and a debramo. The Biameka, we say him dear hoy, ne pay na. And it is a one now she just say be to the bafwa. I also what temple manage now the beer to move. If you are Naja Buffon crat or him here, when baby I have a hair bisa cash. More friend bisa to me by my friend bisa cash in Tino. Wow, support him and also having Mr. Cash. You try when I have a phone card to a bar, a betray opinion and then what you chunk on each other. See us. It's my watching on our Ziontv Gh said that and
Ziontv Gh. Diving deep once again.
Therefore, but as a soldier, British BC, I said, I make on my catch on, and Yene bisa cash, who can and never to chunko. The engine pinu. Now, when we say, or also on the tree by a black American, into Brofo, never can, Nigeria, never, to know. There was another chance. Mom, good evening.
Good evening, Zion.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No, we are doing great. Please, on our first interview, we discussed about African spirituality. Today, we are going to learn something about oracle. I know we've heard about oracle on several occasions, but we don't have much knowledge of what when you say oracle, what it means. So I'm asking, what is oracle?
Oracle is an act, or it is an act of a priest or a priestess.
Okay.
Standing as a medium.
Okay.
Between gods and human.
Okay.
Which means standing as a medium between the higher realm and the physical realm.
Okay.
It's a communication between the higher realms and the physical realm.
Okay. We have the ancient oracle and modern oracle. What's the difference between the modern oracle and the ancient oracle?
Well, I will start by the definition, which I've already defined what an oracle means.
Okay.
An oracle is an act of mediumship.
Okay.
Between the higher realm and the physical realm.
Okay.
And the modern oracle is the most recent version of an oracle.
Okay.
It is the act of mediumship between the higher realm and the physical realm.
Okay.
Using the trend of time to communicate between gods and human.
Okay.
In a modern day form.
Okay. I know the path of oracle is not one. There are several or many ways of, performing these oracles. What are some of the example of the oracles that we should know?
Well, some of the types of oracle that needs to be known is the popular one that we call Ifa or Afa.
Okay.
And some of them are tarot reading, which is the English type of divination. That's also an oracle.
Okay.
It's called tarot reading, which uses a form of card decks to divine for people. And then there is another form of astrology and numerology.
Okay. If you come to Africa, I know Ifa is in Ghana, but not everywhere in Ghana. You can find Ifa in the Volta part of Ghana and Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. Even in Togo, not everywhere. So people who have no knowledge of Ifa, how do they perform their own oracle without using the tarot reading and the Ifa divination method? What are some of the common oracle you can perform?
This is a question that a lot of people can answer differently.
Okay.
Depending on their experience.
Okay.
In life about what is called an oracle. I think as humans, we all have different forms of communicating with the higher realm.
Okay.
And between the higher realm and the physical realm, of which I'll only mention the ones that I have experienced and that I know.
Yeah.
Some people use forms of prophecy. They go into like a state of meditation.
Okay, like trance.
Yeah, to meditate between the higher realms and the physical realms. And so many others. Like I said, I just mentioned a few that I know.
Okay. How has the old form of oracle affected the modern generation?
Yeah, the old form of oracle has affected the present generation in the sense that the way that the old ways of communicating with the gods and man is a little bit outdated to the point where the present generation are starting to run away from the traditional oracle. And that leads to this, present generation trying to run away from tradition and focusing on foreign religions, such as Christianity, Islam, and, etc. And it has also affected us in a way that the way that the old oracle, packages their stuff. The way they do divination, the way they work spiritual works. It doesn't actually work very well with the new generation. So this type of communication between the higher realm and the physical realm is affecting our present generation. That the type of results that are supposed to be achieved from traditional oracle or the old oracle has been affected as well. Because when you try to use the form of old oracle or the form of old spirituality, spiritual works, you want to use it for the new generation, based on the circumstances surrounding the new generation, the present time. I mean, we're evolving. You may not be able to achieve the exact result that you are trying to achieve with old oracle if you're using it in the present day. So these are the, one of the ways that it affects the new generation, old oracle. Yeah.
What are some of the techniques involved in the, modern oracles?
Yeah, I would use myself, for example. I'll call myself a modern oracle. First of all, I have traveled. I'm well traveled. I studied nursing in US, and studying in US as a nurse, and returning back to Africa to also practice African spirituality and African medicine. It helps a lot to combine the both together to bring about even a better result for whoever I'm working for. And some of the techniques that I use is through diagnosis. I have come to understand that the old oracle, for instance, they go by just exactly what they are taught. It's almost like you cramming what your forefathers had taught you, and you want to use that exact method. But understanding that the world has evolved, many of those things will not work that same way again for the present generation, based on circumstances surrounding our present day situations. And some of the forms of methods that I would use as a modern oracle is by first diagnosing what the problem is. For instance, if you go to like a diviner for a problem, and they're trying to resolve your problem, some of them may end up not even asking you what your problem is. They just end up listening to what you have said, and they just give you anything, or whatever the case may be for you to go and use. Whatever they're giving you may not suit your circumstance based on the present generation. So that leads to failure of results. So now, if I'm using the modern day oracle and I have to first diagnose you of what your problem is, it helps me to go far with you, first knowing what is wrong with you through divination, which is the diagnosis. And then after I diagnose you, I call you to give you the results, which comes with canceling you as well, letting you know the things that you're supposed to do and the things you're not supposed to be doing anymore. In the old oracle, for instance, they don't really care to give you canceling for you to get better results. They just give you these items, you go and use it, and that's it. In my own method, my modern day method, I would diagnose you, I would cancel you, I would work for you. I don't have to use the exact method that our forefathers taught us. Rather, I can tamper with the dose. I can change the dose and method of administration when I'm treating you of your spiritual problems.
All right. Concerning what you just said, I know if you, as a Ifa initiate, I know you know that before a Babalawo or Oluwo will divine, the person need your name. The person will divine and diagnose what exactly the problem is. Consult the oracle, and the oracle will give a prescription. Maybe find this leaf, get this herb, take this amount of dosage per day to cure the person's disease. You are saying that the olden days they don't follow these rules, but I know since time immemorial, the method that they've been using, that's the same method they are using in this modern days. So can you give more explanation on this?
Yeah, I would give more emphasis on your question right now. Let me give you an instance. You see, when you talk about the diviners here in Africa, I would say that when they throw their oracle, for instance, it's still like an oracle is being taught somehow. You throw it this way, it's still talking about like the same method of sacrifices, that are given We're still learning the same type of herbs, for instance. And let's say when they teach them those days, they tell them when you combine these 5 herbs or elements together, you achieve this particular result. And if you're still standing on those methods without understanding the circumstances that surrounds other people's situation, for instance, the people that live abroad, you know, their environment over there and their way of living and the circumstances surrounding their way of living over there may not suit what you're trying to do for them. So it's also now calls for you understanding the circumstances that people are passing through over there on, you know, in the other world. You know, the lifestyle, the weather, for instance, you know, workplace, so many things. Let's say, for example, you want to package, you know, medicine to the people abroad. And you still want to package it in the same method, the old method that things are being done. You may be messing things up because there are other forms of preserving, you know, the traditional medicine that could suit the situation and the type of people that you are sending these things to. Like, that's what I said. If you continue to use that method and you are not applying the modern day knowledge to what you are doing, it can result to failure of what you are doing.
You know, if a Babalawo is watching, the Babalawo would testify that Ifa is the same as Santaria that you people are performing in US. And I know during slave trade, they migrated, when they sent some of our ancestors, when they get to, you know, US and Cuba, they reformed the Ifa method and turn it as Orisha and Santaria. And today, Orisha suits the weather or the climate in the foreign country. So I know our form of divining is a dynamic based on the geographical area. So there's nothing new in our oracle, because if when they migrated over there, they enhanced on the method of divining, then we are still evolving in the oracle side.
Okay, so what is your question now?
Yeah, the question is, there's not, like, our ancestral method is what we are enhancing on, but it is not that we are stuck with one method.
Okay, yeah. What I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not saying we should bring about change on the method. Rather, I'm saying we should improve on the method. Okay, as the world is evolving, we have to evolve with our oracle in order to prevent our, you know, generational youths from running, you know, away from our traditional spirituality. If you give them the same thing, but in a modern form, you would see that a lot of people would not run away from African spirituality anymore. Because most of them are running to churches and, you know, all this religion and all of this stuff. Still, they're not getting the help that they, you know, that is needed. That's because the new generation just desire change. And how do you give them the change? It is by also modernizing the old method, but still achieving the same goals. That's exactly what I'm trying to talk about.
How can you use the modern method for traditional oracle?
Yeah, you can use the modern method for traditional oracle in the ways that I'm about to mention. For instance, let's talk about, you know, when we used to use like herbal leaves, you know, to bathe for cleansing and all of those stuff. There is a way we could change, you know, create a change to that. for instance, the people abroad, you can't send them fresh leaves to bait with. So as a result, these people are being limited of the type of work that you could do for them just because they are far away. So at the end of the day, you may want to use another method for the work you're going to do for them, which leads to failure in the goals. All right? So now we can transform the fresh leaves to being dried and being blended and, you know, mixed with other things and package it in the form that by the time it gets to these people, they can still use it for bath. You understand what I'm saying? That's an example of what I'm trying to say. And for instance, the method of the dosage and administration, for instance, is another method that you could put a change to. You know, let's say, like I was saying, the method is still too stiff. The traditional old method is still too stiff. They're not doing anything to make things flexible in order to suit the new generation. You know, they're so stuck in that one way that they have been taught by their forefathers. You know, if you understand, for instance, that this particular herb does this thing, it mustn't be, oh, it is 5 different things that were combined together to achieve this. It can be that you are changing it because you know what this does, this herb does, herb A, you know what herb B does, you know what herb C does. There's a way you can bring about change in this method of creating this substance or medicine that will still bring the same results that you are trying to give. It doesn't have to be stuck in the old way, which at the end of the day, the youths end up running away from our tradition because we're so stuck with our old method. We are too rigid, we are too fixed. There's a way we can make things flexible to suit the new generation. And those are one of the things that we call the modern oracle. We can still use the same method that we used before, but the only thing we have to do now is modernize things in order to suit the new generation.
So my question is, adding something to the product so that it will last long, won't it have side effects? For instance, you were talking of posting maybe fresh like herbs. You blend it. You need to add something to it so that it can be preserved. Unless you add some solution before it won't, you know, get fermented. Adding those stuffs, won't it have side effects on the product?
I didn't mention anything like adding anything to the product.
The reason why I asked that question is before I can preserve maybe fresh tomato, I need to add some solution to it before it can keep long. And I can't blend only tomato and just post it. It will get fermented unless I add solution to it. That's exactly what I was talking about. And my question is, won't it have side effects? Because I know it is an energy. And when another energy is added to, maybe the energy may be more than the actual dosage, or it can limit it. So adding something different to the product so that you can prolong its, you know, lifespan, won't it have side effects?
Well, you don't have to post or package a fresh tomatoes. There are other ways of posting tomatoes, but it doesn't have to be fresh. You can post tomatoes by cutting them up and drying them up. And at the end of the day, you can powder it. So we're still talking about tomatoes. You're still going to achieve your goal with tomatoes, but not fresh tomatoes.
But you know, some of the herbs, you need, before it can work, you need it on its fresh stage. Unless it is in the state of freshness before it can work. So how do I preserve something like that?
Well, let me use, for instance, the modern medicine, the Western medicine. Do you understand that the Western medicine is being is taken fresh from the farms, from the bushes as well, just like fresh leaves.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, they produce these leaves. They, try to create it to become powdered form or tablets and stuff like that. I mean, do we still achieve our purpose or not when we take this medicine? These medicines were made from fresh plants.
Okay.
But even though it has been transformed into the form of powder or tablets or capsules, it still gives the same solution, and you still get results out of the administration. So it doesn't, that's exactly what we're talking about. We have to modernize the old oracle somehow, because it works whether we like it or not. It's just like you drying up some leaves. This is the thing, we are too fixed in our ways. If we were taught that by our ancestors that, oh, you have to pluck these leaves fresh, they have to be like this, they have to be like this, it doesn't mean you can try to dry them up. When you dry them up and you want to use it, you can put them in hot water and leave it there for some time or till done, or even for 3 days until it produces, the nutrients and the vitamins or whatever you need from it. It will still give you the same result.
Wow. Yeah. You see, the reason why I'm asking this question is, do you know Dr. Sabi?
Yes.
You've heard of Dr. Sabi?
Yeah.
Dr. Sabi taught us how to cure cancer. And one of his key ingredient was marijuana leaf, the fresh marijuana leaf. You blend it with some fruit, and it will cure cancer. So situation like this, how do I use dried marijuana to cure cancer? Because it can't work. There are certain substances when the leaf is fresh, you can find in the herb. But when it dries, you can't get it again. So how do I preserve such a thing? Well,
as you can see, it's not everything that is meant to be altered. There are some things that just cannot be altered. Some things are, are meant to be left the way it is. So even when we're talking about the modern day oracle, I mean, it's not everything 100% that we could transform. But we could transform the things that could be transformed in order to improve the system and achieve goals. You understand? There are some people who do not have papers, for instance, to travel to Africa to do some certain things. And then they are limited to the things that needs to be done for them. And as a result, it slows them down, with the kind of results that they need from their spiritual works. So if we try as much as we can to alter some things, not everything, the things that could be altered, and yet you could still achieve your goal. It's not everything that could be altered. Like I said, I mean, it's not a must that we must change everything.
So what's your advice for people who thought that our ancestral way of divining or their form of oracle is Babbalism? What do you have for them?
Well, running away from your tradition can bring about destruction. Yes. And I would say that many of the churches, this modern day churches that you see out there, some of these leaders of these modern churches and spiritual groups, for instance, I'm not talking about only churches. They have come to understand that what the present generation is looking for, you can no longer find it in the old spirituality. So some of them have, gone to the point of opening churches, spiritual houses, and make people feel like, it's very welcoming. It's convenient for them to come into this kind of places. And they won't open up to you what they really do. And they try to make these people feel like they'll get solutions to their problems when they come into places like that. But behind the doors, they're still doing the same thing.
Yes.
It is just like repackaging themselves into another, into the modern form, but behind the doors, they're still doing the same thing for these people.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So what I would like to tell the people out there who are running from our traditional spirituality, our African spirituality, just understand that there are, people that are now modern oracles that could treat your problems.
Okay.
You don't have to be ashamed anymore. You don't have to hide anymore.
Okay.
Such people are like me.
Okay.
I have traveled far. I have experienced a lot of things in the Western world.
Yeah.
And I still use the African spirituality in most of the things that I do.
Okay.
And I succeed from it. I'm urging you, if you cannot communicate with the old oracle, you feel ashamed to reckon with the old oracle.
Okay.
Understand that there are modern oracles that can still make you achieve your goals without you having to, associate yourself with those old oracle that you are running away from.
Okay.
There's still result for you. There's solution for you out there. So I think that's what I have to say.
Okay, so what's the
people.
difference between modern method of oracle and the olden oracle?
Such as diagnosis, for instance, you diagnose people, you diagnose their problem in order to give proper solution. Another method of counseling as well. Another method is you can change the method of administration, you can change the dosage, you can change the packaging, you can change the method of preservation. So these are some of the ways that.
So in the modern method, do you still share blood?
Oh, sure.
And have you thought of modernizing your way of sharing blood as well?
I think the ways to share blood is not something you can alter. The only thing is that for those people who do not wish to be there when blood is being shared, they don't have to be there. The reason is because the smell of the blood after some days, it may make it become uncomfortable for you to be in that environment. So I don't shed blood in my temple. Rather, the animal could be taken to the altar and used to pray, and then you take it out and go shed the blood. To me, the ancestors, the energies, they have already received your prayers. They know that the animal that you are sacrificing for them, that you have brought in front of them, belongs to them. So you don't have to shed the blood on your altar. You can use it to pray, take it out and shed the blood on the outside.
Is it necessary to eat the meat after sharing the blood?
It depends. It just depends. If the whatever you are doing requires for you to eat the meat after you shed the blood, sure. But if it doesn't require for it to be done that way, so there are some type of sacrifice that is meant to be shared. Like you share them into, share these things into pieces, and you go and share to like beggars and all of those stuff. Some family members as well. You may not be meant to eat it. So yeah, some of them are meant to be thrown away as well. So it just depends.
You are talking of Western world. If you go to Cuba today, people still kill animal and put their carcass in the community just to cleansing whatever curse that has befallen upon them. Is it advisable for us to, even in this modern day, is it advisable for us to keep carcass in the community? When we kill them, we should leave them in the community as a result of performing rituals. Is it advisable?
Well, one of the methods of a modern oracle, you mustn't shed blood. That's one thing. You mustn't shed blood. Herbs could be used to replace blood. It just depends on the energy that you are applying to what you're doing.
Okay.
You must not shed blood. That's one thing about the modern oracle. And
Okay.
you can use other methods to achieve the same goal that you would have used animal shedding of blood to achieve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the methods of the modern day oracle.
Okay. So we've spent almost all of our time. In conclusion, what do you have for my viewers so that we end the show?
What I have for my viewers is Africans, stop running away from your African spirituality. Understand that there's what we now call the modern oracle. You could still achieve your goal from using the modern oracle versus using the old oracle. You can still achieve a lot of goals. You can get even better results with a form of modern oracle. You know, stop running away from African spirituality. Understand that there are people out there, such as me, who could diagnose you, who could cancel you, who could still work spiritual works for you with the new method of oracle, and you will achieve even a better goal.
So, ma'am, is it important for someone to get back to his or her roots?
Yeah, it is very, very important for us as Africans to return back to our roots. Because there's just nothing to substitute for that. We cannot assume the forms of the Western people. It just doesn't work. For instance, I would really like to elaborate on this particular question. It's just, for instance, we Africans are now using the method of democracy in our politics, in our form of government, and it's actually not working for us. That's because we are not Westerners. It wasn't created for us. I told someone one time about when a form of swearing in government officials into the government. I said, if we could at least remove the methods of holding a Quran or a Bible to swear an oath, I think there will be a lot of improvements in our system. In the sense that, let's say you bring out, what the West Africans call Ogun, Shango, Oromila, and stuff like that, those type of our deities, and you ask them to come and swear by those deities before they get sworn in into the government. I say you see that the system will change. This will, thoroughly cleanse the system. Because they know that Ogun, swearing of Ogun is not a joke. Swearing of Shango is not a joke. If you swear it and you think you are joking, and then you would see the repercussion of it. So that's the same thing we're trying to talk about here. We going back to our roots. There's just no substitute to it. There are things that you would do or that you would need that cannot be substituted. For instance, if you come from a background of a particular lineage, maybe that particular family, they have a deity or an ancestor that they usually pay homage to at a certain time. And the reason for doing this is to help all the youths in that family to succeed. And at some point, they stop doing it because they have, all gone chasing the modern religion. And these are affecting our people today. It's affecting them whether they like it or not. No form of deliverance can cure that. Some people say, oh, they've gone to the church to deliver themselves of these things, and yet it's still affecting them. For instance, I would use the word like the Mami Water goddess. In this modern society, people are trying to, they are trying to mock that goddess. They say lots of things. It's a demon. They say in African spirituality, the Mami Water is not
a demon.
A demon. It's not a bad goddess. Rather, it's a goddess of blessings. It's a goddess of
fertility
wealth, fertility, and all positive things. It was in the Bible when Jesus was baptized. Jesus' power was not activated until he was taken to the water to be baptized. It was immediately he was baptized in the water that the dove flew on top of his head and he received the Holy Spirit. There was a reason for that. That, you know, it was said and prophesied before time that John the Baptist will be the one to baptize Jesus. And until he does that, he will not receive the Holy Spirit. So, that being said, what do people think Mami Water is? Mami Water is actually the Holy Spirit. Okay? And there are so many verses in the Bible that actually showed and stated the voice of God roars like many waters. The voice of the Lord was upon many waters. And so many chapters. Genesis said the Spirit of God was roaming on the waters. So what are we talking about here? He never said the Spirit of God was roaming on the skies. He never said the Spirit of God was roaming under the ground. It mentioned that it was roaming on top of the waters. It means something. In lots of places in the Bible, lots of verses in the Bible, the way to describe the voice of the Lord is always with the water. Why would it say that? That the voice of the Lord roars like many waters. You talked about some of the angels, the extraterrestrials. When they were flying, their wings were clapping like many waters. Why does it always describe the power of the Almighty with water? So I'm using this as an example that if we keep running from African spirituality, from our roots, it's not helping us. That's why I brought about the modern oracle. That if people think out there that the old method no longer suits them and they just need a change, they desire change, they should come to people like us who have been exposed to the Western world, who have seen it all. Who would help them use, combine the Western method to the traditional method and still bring about the result that you need and desire. Even better than what you would have achieved with only the old pattern. Return back to your roots, Africans. Because the earlier you understand this, the better it will be for you.
So has our language, has the Western language also affected the modern day oracle? Using the English language, the Arabic language, and all these sorts of languages, and rejecting our own language, does it have repercussion?
Oh yes, it does. The energy that goes with some words in the African spirituality cannot be substituted because it carries energy. You cannot use the word, let's say we say Obatala. Obatala cannot be used as the word, Lord. It's not Lord, neither is he, the
creator.
You know what I'm saying? Shango, the word Shango carries a vibration. So you cannot substitute it. It's just like when we give our children names, and then all of a sudden, because they have traveled, they start changing their names into something different. There is power in your name. Some people travel to the Western world, and all of a sudden, they change their last name. Your name carries vibration. And once you alter it, it changes the vibration as well, which can affect you. So are you going to say that the reason why most of our spiritualists can't even perform better is as a result of the language? Because maybe the way you are calling the energy is not how our ancestors used to call it. Yes, that could be as a result, and it could be the other way around as well. In the sense that when I would use this for an example because I'm a modern day oracle. So I would compare myself to the old oracle. For instance, the circumstances that surrounds the present generation is totally different from the circumstances that surrounded the old generation.
Okay.
So when you're using the old method of African spirituality to treat the problems of the present day generation, that's where most times people do not get results anymore from African spirituality. And that leads to them running away to the modern religions. Yeah.
So if that is the case, why should we go back to our source? Because I know my ancestor or my forefather brought this energy to the house based on maybe because of war. Today we don't go for war like the olden days. People were fighting over land. So if I don't fight over land today, meanwhile my ancestor or my forefather brought this energy, maybe Shango, to our house because people were bullying us. And you know Shango, when it manifests, no one can stand before you. So today I don't need to go out there because there are a lot of security services around. So I don't need to go and fight. So what then should I come back to my source? Because there's no use of the energy. I'm not going to use the energy for, you know, war or battle.
Okay, I think what you're trying to say is, let's say you have Shango.
Yes.
It has to be created as Shango in the modern day time.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Shango is an energy, right? In the old method, there's a way they create this deity, and they think that only when they create this deity and place it there, that you can still tap from the energy. That's not true.
Okay.
You can call on the energies of Shango without creating any form of you know, statue.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? For example, the Olokun. In the old time, when you want to do this Olokun, there are things that you know, statue and all of these things that they have to mount, and they think that that's where they put the energy.
Okay.
Guess what? The Olokun energy can be inside you.
Okay.
It can be activated inside you.
Yeah.
We all know that Olokun is water.
Yes.
Okay, so Olokun spirit or energy doesn't live inside a statue. It is in the water. So why do we take a statue home and think we can conjure the energy into the statue?
Okay, so this is how some of the energies were invented or installed. Let's say Obatala, for instance. Before they will install Obatala in the house, I know they find some herbs. Obatala likes, he likes certain herbs. They will gather those herbs. They will install the herbs on the floor before installing the deity, so that the deity, the statue will be a place where if they want to offer anything to the energy, they will pour the blood on that particular statue. So it is not just a mere statue that they place in the house, but rather there are a lot of things in the deities. Okay,
so these same things that you have just mentioned can be conjured into an amulet.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't have to, it's an energy. It can be conjured into beads. So these are the modern ways that I'm talking about, the modern oracle. I am a witness. Okay, I'm a living witness to what I'm saying. I have experienced what I'm saying. You know, I have conjured the water energy into an element without having to create a statue, and it worked. Okay, it worked 100%, even 1000%. Okay, so we don't have to go by. That's why I said African spirituality is too fixed, too rigid. Okay, you can conjure these energies into an amulet and you wear it as a necklace, as a bangle. And it's there, the energy is there. You can use the same leaves that were buried before they put up the statue on it. You can conjure you can use the energy of that leaf. You can take the energy, the leaves, and walk it on an amulet. okay, and conjure the energies, and the energies will enter into the amulet. Do you understand at all that spirits can it can go into anything as long as it's something like a spirit can go into this container.
Yeah.
And it will move it.
Yeah, it will take the shape of that particular.
Yeah, it will move it.
Yes.
It can take the form of an ant.
Yes.
You know, it can take the form of a bird.
Yes.
It can take any form. So it doesn't have to be rigid the way they have taught us. That's why I said these things could be modernized in order to suit the present generation. Because if you look at it, the new generation, they are running from all these things because they think that, okay, for instance, when I wanted to answer to my call, I have studied abroad.
Yeah.
I'm well educated.
Yes.
I answered to the call, but this is what I told the energies. If I must answer to this call, one thing I need from you is knowing that I will not change anything about myself. If you will agree like that, I would go. Okay?
Yeah.
I do not want to change anything about myself. I want to go just the way I am. Okay? And that would even bring glory to you. In the sense that people would see me today and understand that you could still be yourself. And still be dedicated to the African spirituality, to your ancestors, without having to change anything about yourself. And I'm doing it, and it's working for me.
And I know some of our way of connecting to the spirit. They have what they don't like. For instance, if you put the energy in, let's say for instance this mobile phone, you invoke the energy into this mobile phone. There are certain places you can't go with this mobile phone. Because the energy might never come into the mobile phone again. You may choose to spoil it. So invoking a whole energy into your bracelet, your necklace, or your ring. What if you enter a place where you are not supposed to enter? Let's say for women, for instance, excuse me, but when you are in your period, you are not allowed to go closer to the energies. How then will you cope with this?
It is very manageable. For instance, I have conjured energies into amulets, into elements, and stuff like that.
Yes.
And all you have to do is just follow the rules and regulation. I'm married, for instance. There are some type of amulets that I wear. I know that if I want to have intercourse with my husband, I don't have to put it on. I have to pull it. To respect that energy. And in order not to reduce the power of that energy, I'll pull it. And it's just rules and regulation. It's a normal everyday thing that we do. We go through rules and regulation in other things. So it's not difficult to go through the rules and regulation of this same type of things that we're talking about.
So people are also running from our ancestral way of worship simply because of how they've maltreated some people. Let's say Shango, for instance. Someone can call onto Shango to destroy a whole family. Is it advisable, or like it's just a myth? Can an energy destroy a whole family simply because one person has committed a crime in the family?
I think what you're trying to say, if I may ask again, are you trying to say for the maybe the wrongdoing of one person in the whole family, Shango can destroy the whole family? Yeah, back in the days we heard that things like that did happen. And I think I understand as well that it doesn't just work like that. It is either they have abandoned this deity and they no longer do what they're supposed to do. That is the reason why it usually destroys the family. And that's exactly why we are talking about this topic and this issue. That the earlier that we Africans understand that we cannot run away from our ancestors, the better it is for us. Because when we keep running, there's no solution for us out there.
But my problem is, why should an energy try to destroy my life simply because I have decided not to work with you again? Because if it happens that this is our favorite food in the house, I can choose not to eat, and nothing is going to happen to me. So why me rejecting you simply because I don't want to have anything to do with you? You are going to, you know, backstab me or try to destroy my life. Why?
Okay, I think what you're trying to talk about now is just like a topic I treated last weekend.
Okay.
This was about witchcraft, for instance.
Okay.
And we talked about two types of witchcraft. One is like a blood lineage, which is ancestral, comes from generation to generation, and then the other one is like the one that people get initiated because they want that power. So it's two different things. So the one of the blood lineage, for instance, which is ancestral, comes from generation to generation. That one is like your DNA. You know, the witch is in the bloodline. You know, everyone who is born of that bloodline has
that
witch blood. It comes to a point it activates itself, and you know, they start manifesting these abilities. Now, somebody asked a question: if that particular power can, if you can declare that you do not want it anymore, and I laughed. I said, well, for the ones who want such powers and ability that were initiated to it, they could disconnect from it. But for those who have it as a bloodline, it is in their DNA. You can't take it out from it. The reason is because you cannot remove your blood from your body. If you remove your blood from your body, you will die. That's how it is. So there are things that are ancestral, generational, bloodline in the DNA. It can simply not be disconnected from. So you don't have a choice. It's just like somebody saying, I want to live without my breath. I want to live without breath. I want to live without oxygen. Yes, you can live without oxygen, but understand that if you live without oxygen, you will die. That's your choice. That's how it is to some of these deities. I personally, I haven't experienced that type of drastic, you know, punishment of such deities. You know, I just understand that wherever you come from or whatever you belong to, you just give what is Caesar to Caesar. You cannot be delivered from it like some of these religious leaders would put it. Come and let me deliver you. It's like somebody treating the symptoms of an ailment without treating the ailment itself. That's what it is.
So what I want to find out is, can two people also generate an energy for entire lineage? For instance, I am Babalawo. My wife happened to be Oluwo. When we give birth and we initiate our child into Ifa, are my offspring also going to have that Ifa energy? Or each and every one must be initiated before the person can be called Ifa initiate?
Okay. Let me understand your question.
The question is, the question is, for instance, you are Oluwo, you are Ifa initiate, your husband is Ifa initiate. Supposedly, you give birth to a child and you initiate the child into Ifa. From the child, all your lineage, are they going to be Ifa initiate, or each and every individual that may come from your lineage has to take Ifa initiate before they can be called Ifa initiate?
Okay, for that, I don't think that people have to be initiated into Ifa before they can become a diviner. There are some people that are, like the last topic we treated, I talked about different life paths, you know, and if your life path is a diviner, a messenger, you know, someone who holds the key to the spirit realm and the physical realm, you automatically have those energies in you. And once you touch divination, it flows because it is in you. So it is not necessary that people have to be initiated into the Ifa. And I will use another one as an example. For instance, the Olokun or the Mami Water deity or goddess. You know, some people are born with it.
Yes.
They are born with it. Their element is water, and you know, they are from the family of marine. Yeah. And we also have the people who they just want the energies of the marine, and they get initiated. Yeah. Still, the tradition believe, the African traditional method believe that as someone who is a family of water, you belong to the family of water, you have the energies of water, it still has to be activated by doing the initiation process for you. They believe that when you do that, you're going to achieve more from that energy, you know, versus you not, compared to when you are not activated by the initiation. And understand also that the same initiation process is what they do for the people that do not belong to the marine kingdom. They get initiated in order to connect with that energy. You understand what I'm saying? But it is not really necessary that you, as someone who belongs to the marine kingdom, that you need to be initiated. You know, you can your energies can be activated without you being initiated. You can be manifesting with your energies without you being initiated. It's just that, you know, the traditional method believe that you being initiated, you will achieve more from that energy.
The reason why I asked that question is, you know, if you come to Ghana here, our Ifa, you know, the divination, the Odu is quite, when we are calling the Odu, it's quite different from how Nigerians happens to call. And when two couples give birth to a baby boy, the child is Amuzu. The child name is Amuzu.
And what does that mean?
Amuzu meaning the first heir of Ifa initiates. Let's say when two couples, if they are all initiated into Ifa, when they give birth to a first male, which is a boy, they will call the boy Amuzu. Simply because automatically the child has been initiated into Ifa. That is, if you come to our side, if you come to the EMPRESS side, when you go to Ifa, you know, this thing, the pantheon, immediately the husband and the wife get initiated. When you give birth, the child, the firstborn, is going to be Amuzu. That's why I was asking that when two people get initiated, all their lineage, are they automatically going to be initiated? That's why I asked that question.
I don't think so. It just depends from, you know, it depends from tradition to tradition. Like what you're saying right now, in the Nigerian culture, it's really not like that. So,
you don't have specific name for children from children who are whose parents are into Ifa?
No, you can, if you wish to name them, you know, accordingly, as per what you have just said, that's fine. But it's not compulsory.
I think our time is far gone. So, in conclusion, what do you have for our viewers so that?
I just need Africans to understand that you cannot run away from your ancestors. You cannot run away from your roots. Rather, you could use the modern method to still achieve what you want in African spirituality, instead of running away totally from your African lineage. Because if you do that, it will destroy you. This is the reason that a lot of people of this present generation are facing problems. So understand that there are still people out there who understands African spirituality and have modernized it in the way to suit the present generation. So you're not alone. There's help for you. Just call and you will be helped. Thank you.
Please give out your number, your contact number.
My contact number, my international contact number, California number is +1 424 303 0437. Again, +1 424 303 0437. And my Ghana number is +233 54 950 5468. Again, +233 54 950 5468.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Therefore, please your name.
I'm Empress.
Madam Empress, Anna. Empress is Empress. Empress. Emperor ni Empress. Ne ene twetwe nkomo no wa kire ifa mu. Ye ka si ifa. The word ifa in Ghana ha ne ye ka si afa. There's a calmness, jojo. Nti no wa kire mu. Wa mo ate ase se de amanfo se ya bosomsom, de amanfo se e fia de, de amanfo se e nkurasesem no. Enye nkurasesem na emom. Wo so betimi amodernize no, ana obe modify no na asuiti ene. Oko India first no se uko hu deities ni bia na etan. Serious am ka kire no. Wo hwe Krishna, Lord Jagannath, Radharani, uko hu mu deities ni bia na etan pa but deity na esiwo ya me hwe we no kra na me fi se yamoya na yamoja na esiwo san. That is it. Wo modifier e be fe ema obi nso ebetimi ayere abesom ene uko abosom fie ni bia ya tumutas ya ye ho ya decorate wo me ho na ye kama. Nti wo so betimi decorate wo die na aye more attracted to the public na enkoye se ye de akonfo de ho basa okumoja na wa pitipiti ho enu ti na o kire o se ubetimi aye ne sa na asuiti ene modern day your life no aha na di dwuma de ni bisi da sende yakra mu nyina bye bye.
Ziontv Gh, diving deep once again.